This is Appalling News. I'm Paul Chatto. With the controversial opening of the Paris Olympics, Venezuelans contesting a corrupt election, Kamala Harris being anointed as the Democratic Party's presidential candidate, and the riots in Southport, UK after the stabbing of 3 young girls, the Middle East continues to grab headlines. Hamas and manufacturers of white shirts and stylish jackets suffered a severe blow when their leader Ismail Haniyeh was killed in Iran, and now the terrorist organization and the terrorist state of Iran, including its other terrorist proxies, Hezbollah and the Houthis, after trying to wipe out the Jewish state of Israel for more than 76 years, are now really, really mad. News organization headlines announce that there will be escalation to the escalation of the escalation to a level of escalation that has heretofore never been escalated to. Did I say they were really, really mad? The BBC, the English language edition of Al Jazeera, wrote, "Despite his tough rhetoric, he was generally seen by analysts as moderate and pragmatic compared to the more hardline Gaza-based leaders, which is kind of like saying that Adolf Eichmann was moderate compared to Hitler." And which analysts are BBC referring to? Shawarma restaurant owners? Columbia University encampment students? CNN also offered reactions from completely neutral and unbiased sources. Palestinian President for Life Mahmoud Abbas has condemned the killing. The Secretary General of the Executive Committee of the Palestinian Liberation Organization, Hussein al-Sheikh, also denounced it and demanded a longer title. Turkish President Recep Erdogan shockingly condemned the killing, which he called a treacherous assassination and a despicable act. He appeared to blame Israel. Good guess. To everyone's surprise, the government of Syria condemned Haniyeh's assassination, accusing Israel of launching an attack against Iran that constitutes a violation of international law. What international law violations did Assad violate when he killed 250,000 of his own people? Not important. Houthis, Mohammed Ali al-Houthi, a top official of the Iran-backed militant group in Yemen, has called the killing a flagrant violation of laws and ideal values. We are fairly certain what your ideal values are, Mohammed. And finally, Russia's Deputy Foreign Minister Mikhail Bogdanov called Haniyeh's killing an absolutely unacceptable political assassination. But a nice job. The Olympics, and in particular the International Olympic Committee, or IOC, continues to make Appalling News proud by finding a way to skirt the rules of the International Boxing Association by letting 2 proud women boxers with dangling participles compete in this year's Olympics. 2 boxers who were disqualified from competing with women at a global event last year have been permitted to fight in the Paris Olympics. The International Olympic Committee confirmed at the time of their disqualification. The president of the International Boxing Association alleged that the boxers' chromosome tests came back as XY male. They could have saved money by just cupping their ball sacks and asking them to cough, please. Imain Khalif of Algeria and Lin Yuting of Taiwan failed to meet gender eligibility tests at the Women's Boxing Championships in New Delhi last year, prompting their disqualifications. Following his disqualification last year, Khalif told Algiers Enhar TV that some did not want Algeria to win a gold medal. Of course, it had nothing to do with Khalif's enjoyment of beating on women and getting rewarded for it. The IOC updated its rules regarding athletes' gender eligibility, including its transgender participation guidelines, in 2021 to defer to each sports governing body, all except, it seems, the IBA. Suddenly, the IOC no longer recognizes the IBA as the governing body over Olympic boxing because they are meanies, and instead refers to the Paris 2024 boxing unit they made up at breakfast the day before the Olympics started for its eligibility standards, which only requires that you are identified as female on your passport and have taken selfies of you invading women's washrooms and getting a boner. As we always say here at Appalling News, men make the best women. And finally, we are happy to see supporters of Vice President Kamala Harris take to the streets of Philadelphia celebrating her ascension to Democratic Party flag bearer after Barack and Michelle Obama's backroom attempts at calling for a Democratic convention failed. This is Appalling News, and that's the way it is.